Have you ever felt an inexplicable peace when entering certain homes, while in others, an invisible weight seems to oppress the atmosphere? It is not a coincidence. There is something that makes the difference, something that protects, transforms, and changes destinies: the presence of the cross. But be careful, it is not enough to simply have a crucifix at home. If it is not used correctly, the exact opposite could be happening. Today, Padre Pio brings you a shocking revelation, a message that could change the destiny of your home and your family forever. Listen carefully. If you have a crucifix at home or are thinking about getting one, you need to hear this very carefully. What I am about to share with you is not just mere words, but teachings revealed by Padre Pio, one of the most powerful figures in the history of our church, about the true power of the crucifix in our homes. Before continuing, if you believe in the power of Padre Pio's teachings, write in the comments, "I believe in the protection of the crucifix." This simple act of faith will be the first step toward the transformation you have been seeking. Padre Pio said something very important about crucifixes that many people do not know. According to his teachings, having a crucifix at home is not just about hanging a religious ornament on the wall. It is much more than that. It is about establishing a point of protection, a spiritual shield that can completely transform the energy of your home and the life of your family. Imagine for a moment that your home is like a fortress. Every entrance, every room, every space can be either a point of protection or a vulnerable spot. Padre Pio revealed that the crucifix, when used correctly and with true faith, becomes a source of protection so powerful that it can stop problems, illnesses, and difficulties from entering your home. But there is something crucial you must know. Many people have crucifixes in their homes, but they are not receiving all the protection and blessings they could. Do you know why? Because there are specific ways to use the crucifix, strategic places where it should be placed, and, most importantly, a correct way to activate its protective power. This information is so important that Padre Pio dedicated much time to teaching it to his closest followers. He knew that in these difficult times we are living in, we would need this special protection in our homes more than ever. Padre Pio taught us that the crucifix is not just a symbol, but a key that opens the doors of divine protection for your home. And today, I will teach you exactly how to use that key. Padre Pio had a very special relationship with the power of the crucifix. In his deepest teachings, he revealed to us that the crucifix is much more than a symbol of our faith. It is an active source of protection, healing, and transformation for our homes. The crucifix is the doorway through which blessings enter your home, said Padre Pio. And this teaching is more important than ever in the times we are living in. When we see so many problems, illnesses, and difficulties knocking at the doors of our homes, we need to activate this special protection. Padre Pio taught that there are three fundamental powers in the crucifix that very few people know about. The first is the power of protection. When you have a crucifix in your home with the right faith and intention, you are establishing a spiritual barrier that no negative force can penetrate. It is like having an invisible shield that protects your entire family. The second power is the power of healing. Padre Pio revealed that the crucifix has the ability to bring both physical and spiritual healing to homes. He explained that when we pray before the crucifix with true faith, we are directly connecting with the healing power that flows from the cross. Every time you look at the crucifix with faith, he said, you open a channel of healing for yourself and your family. And the third power, perhaps the most important, is the power of transformation. Padre Pio taught that the crucifix has the ability to completely transform the atmosphere of a home. It can turn an environment filled with negativity into a refuge of peace and blessing. A home can be a refuge of peace or a space filled with tensions and difficulties, and Padre Pio taught us that the crucifix has the power to transform any environment. It is not just about placing it on a wall and forgetting about it, but about understanding its true meaning and knowing how to activate its power. It is like holding a powerful key in your hands. It is not enough to possess it. You must know how to use it. Padre Pio insisted that the benefits of the crucifix are not activated automatically, but require a special combination of faith, correct placement, and constant practice. Before continuing with these important revelations, I want to invite you to become part of this spiritual family. If these messages of protection and wisdom are touching your heart, you can support this space by becoming a member of the channel. And if this message is helping your life, leave your gratitude in the comments. Now let us continue with what Padre Pio taught about the power of the crucifix. One of Padre Pio's most valuable teachings relates to the special moments of the day when praying before the crucifix has even greater power. According to him, there are two particularly favorable times, 3 a.m. and 3 p.m. Why these moments? Because they are times when the veil between heaven and earth is thinner, which means that prayers have a special strength. Additionally, Padre Pio revealed that the crucifix has a unique force to protect our dreams, which is why he always emphasized the importance of having one in the bedroom. He explained that during the night, when we are more spiritually vulnerable, guardian angels work together with the power of the crucifix to safeguard us. However, although the crucifix is a source of blessings and protection, there are common mistakes that can prevent us from receiving its full power. First is treating it as a mere decoration. How many times have we seen crucifixes covered in dust, forgotten in a corner, or placed without any special intention? According to Padre Pio, when a crucifix is not treated with respect, we are losing a great opportunity for protection in our home. Another very common mistake is placing it in the wrong locations. Many people hang it too high, where no one can see it or connect with it, or in rooms that are rarely used. Padre Pio insisted that the crucifix should be in a place where the family can see it and feel its presence daily. He also warned about the importance of ensuring that the crucifix is blessed before placing it in the home. An unblessed crucifix is like an unactivated key. It may be in the right place, but it will not open the doors to spiritual protection. If you are not certain that your crucifix has been blessed, you can take it to a parish to receive this important consecration. Moreover, Padre Pio emphasized that faith is the true force that activates its power. It is not enough to have the most beautiful crucifix in the world if there is no faith in the hearts of those who own it. Without a real connection to the cross, its protection will not fully manifest. Another frequent mistake is forgetting to maintain a daily relationship with the crucifix. Some people have it in their homes, but days, even weeks, pass without them looking at it, praying before it, or remembering its meaning. Padre Pio taught that its power strengthens with constant attention and devotion. He also warned about the physical condition of the crucifix. If it is broken, rusted, or deteriorated, it is advisable to replace it respectfully. It does not need to be expensive, but it should be in good condition to properly represent its sacred significance. Additionally, he warned against mixing the crucifix with objects or practices unrelated to faith. According to him, the crucifix has a unique power and does not need to be combined with external elements. So how do we correct these mistakes? Padre Pio left us very clear instructions. The first step is to respectfully clean the crucifix, not just physically, but also by renewing the intention and respect toward it. The second step is to ensure that it is blessed, as this is essential to activate its protective power. The third step is to place it in the right location, a visible and respected place within the home. In the next chapter, We will discuss in detail the strategic places for its placement. But for now, it is essential to know that it should be in a space where the whole family can see it and feel its presence. Finally, Padre Pio recommended establishing a daily routine of connection with the crucifix, such as making the sign of the cross when passing by it, or dedicating a few minutes of the day to prayer in its presence. These mistakes are common, but they are also easy to correct. What matters is recognizing them and taking action to ensure that the crucifix in our home becomes a true channel of blessing and protection. Now that you are aware of these mistakes, the important thing is to take action to ensure that the crucifix in your home fully fulfills its protective function. However, its power goes beyond spiritual protection. One of Padre Pio's most striking revelations was the relationship between the crucifix and prosperity. He explained that when we honor its presence in our home, we not only invite divine protection, but also financial stability and abundance. It is no coincidence that many people notice improvements in their financial situation after they start using the crucifix correctly. Its influence is not limited to the spirit. It also opens paths of material blessing. Padre Pio also spoke about the importance of the crucifix in protecting children. He explained that little ones are especially sensitive to spiritual influences, and for this reason, the crucifix acts as a protective shield for them. This is why he recommended placing it in their rooms and teaching them from an early age to respect and honor it. Furthermore, he insisted that one of its greatest strengths lies in healing family relationships. When a family gathers in front of the crucifix, a special power of unity and reconciliation is activated. Conflicts begin to dissipate, misunderstandings are clarified, and love is strengthened. The cross becomes a meeting point, a symbol that unites rather than divides. But its healing power does not stop there. The crucifix also protects against illnesses, not only physical, but also spiritual and emotional. Padre Pio taught that the energy that emanates from the cross can strengthen the immune system and reinforce our spiritual resistance. In a world where anxiety and fear have become part of daily life, having a crucifix at home is a source of unshakable strength. However, perhaps the most powerful revelation of all is the crucifix's ability to transform destiny. Using it correctly is not just a matter of faith, but a way to open paths and close doors to problems, aligning life with the divine will. Now, it is essential to talk about something key: the strategic locations where, according to Padre Pio, the crucifix should be placed to provide maximum protection to your home. This information can completely change the way blessings flow in your house. The first essential place is the main entrance. Padre Pio taught that the entrance door is a portal, not only for people, but also for the energies that enter. Placing a crucifix above the main door is like establishing a spiritual guardian, a shield that protects 24 hours a day against anything that might disturb the harmony of the home. The second strategic location is the master bedroom. We spend a third of our lives sleeping, and according to Padre Pio, during sleep, we are more spiritually vulnerable. For this reason, he recommended placing the crucifix on the wall facing the bed, where it can be seen upon waking up and going to sleep. Its presence in this space not only grants protection, but also brings peace and rest. The third key point is the living room, the heart of the home. It is the place where the family gathers and where we receive visitors. Having a crucifix in this area harmonizes family relationships and protects conversations, ensuring that the home is a refuge of love and understanding. The fourth important place is the kitchen, a space often forgotten in spiritual terms, but fundamental in family life. According to Padre Pio, the kitchen is the place where the food that nourishes both the body and the soul is prepared. A crucifix in this space has the power to bless meals and attract abundance to the home. as well as foster harmony among those who prepare and share meals. Finally, if your home has a space dedicated to prayer or an altar, this is the fifth strategic location. Padre Pio taught that a crucifix in a prayer area acts as a spiritual amplifier, making our prayers more powerful and effective. However, it is not enough to place the crucifix in these locations. Padre Pio taught that there is a correct way to position it so that its power is fully activated. The height is a fundamental aspect. It should be at eye level or slightly higher, but never so high that it is out of sight, as its presence should be a constant reference. Additionally, it should be placed straight, symbolizing the firmness of our faith, never tilted or neglected. The size of the crucifix is also important, as its presence should be visible enough to remind us of its significance. Each of these teachings from Padre Pio shows us that the crucifix is much more than a religious object. It is a source of protection, healing, and transformation. It is not merely a decoration, but a powerful spiritual tool that, when used correctly, can change the lives of those who dwell in the home. Now that you understand its true power, it is time to take action and ensure that the crucifix in your house becomes a channel of blessings and light. Padre Pio taught that the size of the crucifix does not determine its power, but rather the faith with which it is honored. A small crucifix, when looked upon with devotion, is infinitely more powerful than a large one that is ignored or treated as just another decorative item. Another important aspect is its orientation. Whenever possible, the crucifix should be positioned facing east in the direction where the sun rises. This positioning, according to Padre Pio, helps align spiritual energy more effectively. But what about the rest of the home? While every room can benefit from its presence, the places mentioned earlier are the most strategic. If you have multiple crucifixes, start with these key locations and then, if possible, place them in other corners of your home. Now that you know where to place it, it is time to discuss something even deeper: the transformation that occurs when it is used with true faith. According to Padre Pio, this change manifests on three levels: spiritual, familial, and material. On a spiritual level, the transformation begins from the very first day the crucifix is used correctly. It is as if the air inside the home becomes lighter, purer. Even visitors can sense it without knowing exactly why. Padre Pio explained that this happens because the crucifix acts as a purifier of the environment, blocking negative energies and creating a constant protective barrier. It functions like a spiritual filter that works 24 hours a day, ensuring that the home remains filled with peace and harmony. On the family level, the changes are just as noticeable. Arguments and conflicts begin to diminish because the crucifix, when placed correctly and honored with faith, has the power to soften hearts and open channels of more positive communication among family members. Padre Pio taught that when a home respects and honors the cross, a special protection is activated over family bonds. Marriages that seemed fragile become stronger. Relationships between parents and children improve, and even tensions with distant relatives begin to resolve in unexpected ways. On the material level, many families have experienced surprising changes after beginning to use the crucifix, according to Padre Pio's teachings. It is not that the crucifix magically resolves all financial problems, but it opens pathways to prosperity. Unexpected opportunities begin to arise, debts find ways to be settled, and abundance starts to manifest. Padre Pio explained that this transformation occurs because when we honor the crucifix in our home, we align ourselves with the spiritual laws of prosperity. It is as if the windows of heaven open, allowing blessings to flow more freely. However, there is something crucial you must understand about this transformation. Padre Pio always insisted that changes do not happen instantly. It is a process that requires faith, patience, and consistency. It is like planting a seed. It needs time to grow, and bear fruit. The first signs of transformation are often subtle. You may notice that you sleep better, that you feel more at peace when you arrive home, or that worries no longer affect you as much as they once did. These are the first indications that the protective power of the crucifix is at work in your home. Over time, the changes become more evident. Many people who live in homes protected by the crucifix have noticed improvements in their health as the environment becomes more harmonious and healthier, both physically and spiritually. Children, in particular, are the first to benefit from its presence. They become calmer, more obedient, and experience more restful sleep. Padre Pio taught that children are especially sensitive to the protection of the crucifix, and its influence on them is immediate. Another key aspect of this transformation is protection against accidents and unexpected problems. Many families have noticed that after they begin to honor the crucifix correctly, negative incidents in the home decrease dramatically. It is as if an invisible hand is guiding and protecting each family member in their daily life. But this transformation is not limited to the home. It also extends to our life outside of it. People who live in homes protected by the crucifix often experience improvements in their work relationships, friendships, and overall social life. The peace and harmony cultivated at home begin to reflect in all aspects of life. However, perhaps the most important change is the one that occurs within us. When we live under the protection of the cross, our faith strengthens, our confidence increases, and our ability to face life's challenges multiplies. It is not just a religious object, but a constant reminder that we are never alone, that there is a greater force guiding and protecting us at every step. Now that you understand the transformative power of the crucifix in all aspects of your life, it is time to learn the daily practices that Padre Pio recommended to keep its protection active in our homes. These routines will help us strengthen our connection to the cross and ensure that its power continues to manifest in our lives continuously. The daily practices recommended by Padre Pio are simple, yet their power is profound and transformative. The first and perhaps most important is the morning greeting to the crucifix. Upon waking, our first glance and thought should be directed toward the cross. It is a gesture that takes only a few seconds, but it establishes a spiritual connection for the entire day. Throughout the day, Padre Pio suggested taking a brief pause when passing by the crucifix. There is no need to stop for long. Simply making the sign of the cross with respect and faith is enough. This small act keeps the channel of protection active and reinforces the divine presence in the home. Another key moment is the 3 p.m. prayer, an hour that Padre Pio considered especially powerful for praying before the crucifix. If you are home at that time, dedicate at least a minute to be in its presence. If you are away, a mental prayer remembering the crucifix in your home is sufficient. At night, before sleeping, Padre Pio recommended entrusting all the day's worries to the crucifix. It is a way of performing a spiritual cleansing before resting, ensuring a more peaceful and protected sleep. For families, a special weekly practice can make a significant difference. One day a week, preferably on Sunday, the entire family should gather in front of the home's main crucifix for a joint prayer. It does not matter if it is brief. What is essential is the unity of the family in that moment. Additionally, during times of difficulty or tension in the atmosphere, Padre Pio recommended lighting a candle before the crucifix and saying a prayer for protection, as if activating an extra spiritual shield in times of need. Regarding financial protection, Padre Pio suggested a special practice. Every time you receive money or pay bills, take a brief moment to pray before the crucifix, giving thanks and asking for the multiplication of material blessings. This not only reinforces gratitude, but also helps maintain a steady flow of prosperity in the home. On a physical level, he recommended a monthly cleaning of the crucifix with a soft cloth while praying for renewed protection. This is an act of respect and at the same time a way to reaffirm the spiritual connection. For health, when someone in the family is ill, they should spend a few minutes each day in front of the crucifix praying for healing. This practice, of course, should go hand in hand with medical treatments, as Padre Pio always emphasized that faith and medicine work together. He also recommended a practice for those who leave home daily. Before stepping out, take a moment to look at the crucifix and make the sign of the cross. This simple gesture functions as an invisible shield of protection throughout the day. For peace in the home, a simple yet effective practice is turning to the crucifix during moments of tension. If you feel an argument is about to begin or the atmosphere becomes heavy, looking at the crucifix and taking a deep breath can help calm emotions and restore harmony. For children, Padre Pio suggested a special practice, teaching them to greet the crucifix every morning and night with a simple good morning or good night. They do not need to recite long prayers. What matters is that from a young age, they develop a connection with their faith. Finally, Padre Pio taught about the importance of gratitude. Every time you receive a blessing, good news, or a moment of joy, take a moment to give thanks before the crucifix. This act not only reinforces a spirit of gratitude, but also opens the door to more blessings in the home. Most importantly, all these practices must be carried out consistently. As Padre Pio said, it is better to have a simple daily practice than to engage in many sporadic rituals without continuity. Now that you know the daily routines to strengthen the presence of the crucifix in the home, it is time to discuss the results and blessings that begin to manifest when these teachings are followed with faithfulness. These are real changes that transform the home's atmosphere, the relationships among its members, and the lives of those who live there. When a home begins to live under the protection of the crucifix, the transformation is undeniable. The environment becomes lighter, more serene, as if the very air is cleaner and purer. Many visitors notice this immediately, even without knowing the exact reason. On a family level, the changes are profound. Arguments naturally begin to decrease, communication becomes more fluid, and family bonds strengthen. Children become calmer and more obedient, while marriages find greater harmony in their relationships. It is as if the crucifix acts as an energy balancer, softening tensions and strengthening love within the home. Another important result is protection against unexpected problems. Many families have reported that household accidents decrease significantly, and that difficulties that once seemed unsolvable now find solutions more easily. It is as if an invisible barrier shields the home from anything that could disturb its peace. Regarding health, the results are equally remarkable. Those who live in homes protected by the crucifix tend to fall ill less frequently, and when they do face illness, their recovery appears to be faster. Padre Pio explained that this happens because the crucifix helps maintain a healthy environment, both physically and spiritually. The changes also extend to financial matters. It is not that money appears magically, but new opportunities start to emerge, debts find ways to be resolved, and financial stability becomes stronger. It is as if material blessings flow more freely when the home is protected by the crucifix. One particularly noticeable result is the improvement in sleep quality. Many people report experiencing deeper and more restful sleep, with fewer nightmares and a sense of peace upon waking. This influence is even more evident in children whose rest becomes more stable and comforting. Mental peace is another significant benefit. Worries, while not entirely disappearing, become more manageable. It becomes easier to remain calm in stressful situations, as if the crucifix serves as a constant reminder that we are not alone and that there is a higher power watching over us. On a spiritual level, the blessings are profound. Faith strengthens naturally. The connection with the sacred becomes more intimate and personal, and prayers seem to be answered more swiftly. It is as if the crucifix acts as a bridge between heaven and home, drawing blessings and guiding the path of those who honor it. Even relationships outside the home benefit. Relationships with neighbors and friends improve, and the home becomes a place of light that positively influences those around it. Many people begin seeking the company and advice of those who live in a house protected by the crucifix, drawn to the peace and harmony that radiate from it. Additionally, protection against negative energies is one of the most powerful results. The atmosphere of the home naturally becomes repellent to harmful influences, as if an invisible barrier prevents any external disturbance from entering. Padre Pio taught that these changes are not coincidences, but the natural manifestation of living under the protection of the crucifix. These are blessings that multiply when we follow these teachings with faith and consistency. However, it is important to remember that transformation does not happen overnight. It is a gradual process built with perseverance and devotion, like a seed that needs time to grow and bear fruit. Dear family, we have reached a special moment. Today, you have received powerful teachings from Padre Pio about the crucifix, knowledge that can completely transform your home and the life of your family. We have learned that the crucifix is not just a decorative object, but a source of protection and blessing for our homes. We have discovered the strategic places where it should be placed, the daily practices that keep its protection active, and the mistakes we must avoid. Each of these teachings is a key that opens the doors to divine protection for your home. Now the knowledge is in your hands, but knowledge without action is like a seed that is never planted. I invite you to take the first step today. Begin by reviewing the placement of the crucifixes in your home. Are they in the right places? Do they receive the attention and respect they deserve? If you do not yet have a crucifix in your home, this is the moment to get one. It does not have to be expensive. The most important thing is the faith with which you receive and honor it. If you already have crucifixes, renew your commitment to these protective practices. Padre Pio taught us that every home has the potential to become a refuge of peace, protection, and miracles when the crucifix is honored correctly. Yours can be one of these blessed homes. Your family can experience the special protection that so many others have already received. And remember, on this path of faith and transformation, you will never be alone. Every time you look at the crucifix with faith, every time you practice one of the teachings we have learned today, you are connecting with a source of protection and blessing that never fails. This path is one of transformation, where faith and consistency build a sanctuary of peace for you and your family. The crucifix is not just a symbol, it is a key that opens the gates of heaven and reminds us that we are never alone in our struggles or in our joys. Dear soul who has reached this point, if these teachings from Padre Pio about the power of the crucifix have touched your heart, I invite you to express your gratitude. Leaving a simple thank you is more than just a word. It is an act of faith that helps more families receive these revelations and transform their homes into places of protection and blessing. And if you wish to continue receiving more messages of wisdom and spiritual guidance, become part of this space of connection and faith. Together, we can create a community where peace and harmony become a reality in every home. May the protection of the crucifix multiply in your life. May you find more peace, more harmony, and more miracles every day on your journey. And always remember Padre Pio's words. The crucifix is the key that opens the doors of heaven's protection for your home.